Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Cinnamon Stitches. I am your yarn host Jennifer. Today, I'm actually recording this on Monday morning. And generally I record my Monday Makes videos on Sunday, or I try to get it done by Friday. But, the past week has been crazy. So, on Monday I generally show you what I've made in the past 7 days, give or take. And I don't have a whole lot to show that, so I wasn't even really sure I was going to make this video. Because there's not a lot to show you, but I'm going to come on anyway, and we're going to spend a little bit of time together on this Monday morning. I'm looking a little rough. I just crawled out of bed. It's early still. The sun is, I don't even know if the sun is up. Kind of gloomy out. It's cold, which is why I have a hoodie on. And I got about 2 hours of sleep last night. So, there's that. Now, what have I made this week? I also give a brief update on my weekend update. And I tell you what's been going on in my life and all that good stuff. So, we're going to talk about as much as we can. This might be a really short video. I am stuffy because the weather on Saturday was in the 90s, and then Sunday it progressively dropped down, and last night, I don't even know what the temperature was last night, but it was cold. It was so cold that my son didn't want to ride his bike. Let me check to see if the weather actually tells me what the temperature was last night. And I of course slept with a fan in the window because, you know, I'm hot and I sleep with a heater next to me. And by heater, I mean my husband is a heater. He's literally a heater. So, it got into the 40s last night. Which for me is cold. I don't like it. So, what did I make this week? This. That's all I made. That's all I made. And I hate her, and I want to restart her and do her over again. I was trying to make a witch for my Haunted House Woobles kit. She's too tall, which I could live with that. Because scary creatures are not all uniform, right? And sometimes movies will throw in a randomly really tall character because it's extra creepy. And you can't even see her because she's like all black. So, here's the crazy part about the Woobles kit, okay? There is a ton of leftover supplies once you make the creature. This, I don't know what kit this is from. This is also glow-in-the-dark yarn. This is leftover from the creatures that I've made, which tells me that there's more than enough yarn in each kit, in the Woobles kit, to make almost 2. And I say almost 2 because last week I did in fact make 1 3/4 spider, but I had to use extra of the tube yarn from Michael's to finish the spider because there just wasn't quite enough of the glow-in-the-dark yarn, which worked out because like I said, I have tube yarn. I have lots and lots of tube yarn. I think one of these is left over from, I think this is Edgar. One of them is left over from probably, I'm calling him Amen, okay? The mummy. And I don't know what this ball is left over from. I'm going to say something else. I also had this green was left over from, I thought it had some more of the green, oh, hang on. I also have this in another container that was left over. And I thought I had some more green left over, but I must have used all the green on her head because I don't see it on my desk. Okay, so the green glows in the dark. And what's crazy is also, last week I made a jack-o'-lantern that I showed you from my orange yarn, but each Woobles kit comes with 3 eyeballs. If it comes with eyeballs, it comes with 3 eyeballs in case you lose one, right? So, for the pumpkin, I was able to use Wooble eyeballs for the pumpkin. And for her, I had to go searching for eyeballs that were size appropriate. They're different than the Wooble eyeballs. Okay, why don't I like her? Because she's kind of cute. She's supposed to be a witch, if you could not tell. I put her arms on too low on her body. And she's too tall. Like, I wanted her Wooble size, so I'm absolutely gonna make her again. I'm not gonna get rid of her or discard her. And I'm definitely not gonna frog her. I just think that I want Woobles looking. So I think I need to make it more egg-shaped. So her entire body right here would have been perfect to be, like, if I would have stopped here and turned her into, like, the green here and then made the hat. Her hat is all attached. So what I did is I made, like, an egg shape. I decreased. I attached the glow-in-the-dark green, and I came out for another egg shape, a smaller egg shape for her head. And then I just kept going and decreasing every couple of rows to make the pointy part, and then I attached this on the outside, which is why you see the green, and I made her a little hat. So this is my prototype, but I am gonna go back to the drawing board with that. I have not touched my Serdar blanket this week. I haven't touched a lot. A couple reasons. Homeschool started back up, and that has kind of kept me busy. I told you guys a couple weeks ago I have developed a shake in my hand. And I know that it's from stress. And what was just a tremble in my hand has moved up my arm, and now it's like radiating from my elbow down, so my whole arm gets shaking. And look, I'm not shaking. I'm trying to show you. It shakes like that. I'm not currently shaking. Well, maybe I am a little bit. That makes it hard to crochet. So I struggled working on her, even though I was not using super tight tension. I wasn't doing anything super strenuous. But the tremble had gotten so bad in my arm that actually I was really angry at my arm because it wouldn't cooperate. So, I know that it is stress related, because when I'm super stressed out, it gets really bad. And if it continues, because I know somebody's going to tell me to go to the doctor. If it continues, I promise you I will have it checked out. But it started on a really bad, stressful day for me. And it just, when the stress is like real bad that day, then it starts to tremble, and that's what's going on. That's why I can't really crochet. Like, I'm struggling with that. I wanted to do so many things this week. I made a list of things I wanted to do. I wanted to make some Woobles. I wanted to make a little witch. I wanted to work on the Serdar blanket. I wanted to frog this out and try it again. This is supposed to be the hooded thing that I was going to do for a tutorial. But here's the thing. Can't really do a tutorial when your hand is trembling that bad. So I have had several tutorials planned over the past couple weeks, and I just cannot. I can't try to show you something when my hand is shaking that bad. And that's where I'm at now. That is the end of the crochet talk, I think, because I haven't been able to do anything else. So, what have I done in my life? You guys know I am limiting what I talk about my kids with, or my family in general, just because stupid people on the internet, right? Stupid people on the internet with no lives. So I'm going to restrict what I'm saying, but I'm still going to kind of give you guys an update, because I know there are a good many of you who still care about my family and pray for my family, and I so appreciate that. So homeschool started. I think I was supposed to start it Tuesday and ended up starting it Wednesday, because I needed to do some figuring things out. I needed to figure out, we're actually using a new homeschool program this year, and we're doing some new subjects that I haven't taught before. And so it went really smoothly, which I'm not surprised that it went smoothly, because me and my child actually really, really enjoy the homeschooling process. And I know that there's a lot of people who are like, they're judgy over the homeschool thing. Your kid's not getting a proper education. I'm here to educate you that he's actually getting a better education than he ever has, because he is allowed to work in bursts and then go away and do something else. And for somebody who has severe ADHD like he does, making him sit still, and he's also above average intelligence. He's borderline genius. He's been tested. Making a child that is smarter than everyone in the classroom, who finishes his work really fast, sit still with severe ADHD for the next 45 minutes while the other kids catch up, is torture. And I know that because I'm speaking from my own past. Had I had the option to do any type of other schooling than traditional public school, actually, I don't think even private school would have worked for me. And I know it wouldn't work for him, because they still have the same rules. You have to do the same schedule that every other kid is doing, whether you have a really slow kid or a really fast kid, whether you have, the public school system is not set up for kids like my son, or for me for that matter. And I struggled with school until I went to an alternative school. And I went to an alternative school on my own with a mix of high school students and adults who were trying to graduate. And I actually did graduate. I didn't get a GED. I didn't do anything like that. It was just alternative education. I was able to do basically what he's doing now, which was work on my own schedule, picking the subjects I want to learn about, not, oh, you're required to learn this specific version of English and this specific version of math. No, when I went into the alternative education, that's why I know that it works. So I know that the homeschool is working, because all of these things I'm going to tell you. I picked my own assignments. I picked what I was going to do on what day. And I remember the first year that I was in the alternative education that I put myself in as a 17-year-old girl. I did that because I was trying to prove the counselor at my school wrong. I picked out what subjects I wanted to learn. And then because it was an alternative school, like, we didn't have the option for gym or art or any of that. So I took extra math and science classes because that's where I excelled. And so I'm taking what I know from the alternative education that actually helps kids like me or like my son. And I'm using that, and everything I've studied. Like, I didn't just jump into homeschooling. I studied it. I figured out what I was going to do, how I was going to do it. And I was scared. Am I smart enough to do this? Because I don't have a college education. My husband has several degrees, but I'm over here with a high school diploma, And I did worry about that. Am I smart enough? Am I going to be able to do this enough? And the answer is, we always have the ability to learn. And if I have to learn it first to be able to teach him, then I do that. And it's not that big of a deal. And it has been an amazing experience. And it has been so freeing for him, for me. We can work on our own schedule. Instead of waking him up at the crack of dawn when he's not real good in the morning, I let him sleep till he naturally wakes up. We do our morning routine. We start school when we're both up and ready. And I know that the real world, that's not preparing him for the real world. But, like, we'll get to the real world when we get to the real world. Right? He's not an adult yet, so we don't have to get there. And if he needs a break, we get up and take a break. If I need a break, we get up and take a break. If we're really struggling with a subject, we can pause on that and come back to it. And like I said, we get to pick what subjects he's learning. Like, I'm teaching him Spanish. I know a little bit of Spanish, but I'm really liking teaching him Spanish. If you don't know, my kids are part Mexican. My husband is part Mexican. I have always, from the time my oldest was born, I knew I wanted them to be proud of their culture. I wanted them, and all their culture. Like, I'm mostly German. I wanted them to know about German. I wanted them to know about Mexican. I wanted them to know about all the other little bits that lives inside of them. And so it's really fun just being able to, I have 2 different curriculums of Spanish we're working on. We're going real basic in the beginning, like 1st to 3rd grade Spanish, just so we can really drive home. We're starting with, we counted to 20 last week. This week, I think we're going to work on either the alphabet or colors. I don't know yet. I'm going to and this is the exact way that I learned in high school. So I'm just showing him what worked for me, you know. And we're going to do that. And then when we're done with the very first set of curriculum, then we're going to move on to high school, middle school, high school Spanish, and work with more of like conjugating verbs and the official Mexican Spanish language. And I told him for funsies, I'm going to teach him how to cuss in Spanish. Because what fun is learning another language if you don't know the cuss words, you know? I mean, we got to make it fun and interesting. And then, like, one of my favorite parts about homeschooling is that I get to take him on adventures whenever I want. I don't even really have to pre-plan. Now, I do have a story about him, but I think I'm going to save that for the Ride or Die members videos. Not because I'm trying to exclude anybody, but just because of, I know that there are people here watching to get dirt on me, to talk crap about me. I know that. I've seen it. I've dealt with it. But we had a very interesting story dealing with him this week, and he about gave us a heart attack. I'm just going to say that. It was intense. It was crazy. We all survived, though, and everybody's fine. This weekend we did have an adventure, though. Me and my boys we went on an adventure. We my husband's idea was to go. I've been trying to do a specific video for a couple weeks now, and it involves the Dollar Tree. And the Dollar Tree, all the Dollar Trees in the area do not have the supplies for me to do it's not a tutorial, the video that I would have been planning and trying to do. And so every couple days I'm stopping at a Dollar Tree trying to see, do they have? Well, he suggested we go to a specific Dollar Tree. And I was like, we'll go to that one. And they still did not have, their craft supply was empty. And it's crazy because I've never had a problem like I'm having right now getting craft supplies from the Dollar Tree. But I think it's because the Dollar Tree is in like this huge transition right now. And they're remodeling pretty much every store to include all of the expensive crap that they're bringing in, so that it's more like a Family Dollar or a Dollar General instead of Dollar Tree, which I'm not at all happy with. I don't like it. I don't like grabbing something off the shelf and not knowing what the price is because they haven't marked it yet. Is this still $1.50? Because now it's not even $1.25, it's $1.50 or $1.75 or $2.50 or $3.75. And the Dollar Tree is not where the value is at anymore. However, they still have craft supplies, some for $1.50. So I went looking for something else. One of you had, actually a couple of you reached out to me and said, did you know that Five Below has these crochet kits? And I did not. So we went to Five Below. I had no luck. And those were the only 2 places we had planned on going. And so my husband had suggested that I look online and look up to see if any place in the area, any other Five Below or Dollar Tree might have, and it was like nothing was in stock anywhere close to us. And I was like, okay, well, Far Away has this in stock, but it says limited stock. It's the only store within an hour or 2 hours drive that said it had the specific crochet kits in stock. And I was like, it's not worth it on the low stock. Because you know when the websites say low stock, sometimes they have one left and somebody could buy it while you're driving over to the place, you know. And so he's all, let's just go try. Let's just go. And that's the one really amazing thing about Mr. Cinnamon is he has been nothing but supportive of me and the channel and doing everything he can to make sure I have what I need to run the channel and do my job. Even when, like, he even paid for all of it. And I clearly had my wallet with me. I was prepared. He's like, no, I got it, babe. So, that's one of the amazing things about him is he's always got my back. He's always holding it down for me. But, yeah, we drove out to Timbuktu, like it was out in the middle of nowhere, to go to Five Below. I scored everything I wanted to get with the exception of one kit. But that kit was not vital to the video that I want to make or the things that I want to make with the crochet kits. And right now, the 2 Five Below stores we went to had a ton of knitting kits, which I was told the knitting kits are like this, which I bought to do a review, and I never got around to doing this because I can't say never. I have made one knit amigurumi ever, and I hated it because it did not look nice. They had big holes in it. I don't know if I'm going to ever hate this. I was told that this has really bad yarn in it. I'm still going to try it. But they had a ton of these variety, the itty bitty knit kits. And then they had crochet kits. And I actually filmed what I saw in my store. So I will show you. I will compile those videos together. I had to take some on his phone and some on my phone because I forgot my phone in the car the first time. But we drove all the way out there, and then, of course, little man wanted to go to the thrift store because that's his favorite thing in the whole world to do. And it was just a day with me and 2 boys, and it was really nice. And we did that on Sunday, and then I came home, and I made, such a delicious meal. Let me tell you about my meal. Because you obviously care what I ate, right? So, the other day, I pulled out a pork loin to defrost, and it was one of those flavored pork loins that you get from the grocery store. And I didn't know if I was going to like it, but I bought it because Mr. Cinnamon really likes pork loin, and he asked me to make it. So I pulled it out to make it. And then, I don't remember what happened that day, but we ended up being out of the house. And by the time we came back, the pork loin had not only defrosted, it was way too warm in temperature to safely eat. So I threw it out. And he was bummed about that, and I don't know what we had for dinner that night, but so I went back to the store and I bought pork loin a different day, and I just put it in the fridge so it didn't have to defrost. And I was supposed to make it Saturday for him, and he's all, no, what did we do Saturday? I think the day I was supposed to make the pork loin, he took me out, or he bought us food. Or he made us food. Anyway, something else happened. We didn't end up having the pork loin on Saturday like we planned. And so we were supposed to have it on Sunday. And then I was like, okay, how am I going to cook a pork loin if we're driving all the way to Timbuktu to find yarn and crochet kits? And he's all, we'll just make it when we get home. I was like, I could throw it in the Instapot. It'll cook faster. He's all, okay, but he doesn't like it mushy fall apart. He wants it sliceable. And I'm like, I can do that, So we also went to the farmer's market the previous weekend, and I love the farmer's market. They had little tiny baby butternut squashes like this big. I was like, those will be so good roasted. I love butternut squash, so does he. And so he's all, well, can you make the butternut squash with the pork loin? I was like, I absolutely can. And he's all, can you make some rice and gravy too? Because he loves rice and gravy. I was like, I will make you rice and gravy. I'm going to tell you right now off the bat, the reason the both of us are fat is because I am a really good cook. So I took and it ended up being a pack of 2 pork loins, but they were kind of on the small side. So I took them and I coated them in garlic and herb seasoning, salt and pepper, and I think garlic powder on top of the garlic and herb seasoning. And I browned them intensely in my cast iron skillet. And it's that time of the morning. It's going to be the post office. Like, hey, a package is coming. Hey, here's your mail for today. I browned them. Like, I got a real deep brown on them. And then I put them in a different pan, and I put them in the oven with a glaze on it. Now I'm gonna tell you what the glaze was, okay? We had some of the Bon Maman. That's the brand, Bon Maman raspberry jelly. I know it's gonna sound weird to you, but trust me on this, okay? I put about a heavy tablespoon of the raspberry jelly preserves in a bowl with a couple tablespoons of soy sauce, garlic chili paste from the Asian store, and I think I put garlic powder in that. and I just mixed it together till it was a thick glaze, and I glazed the pork loin with it, and so it got nice and all like shiny and golden and delicious in the oven. And then the pan that still had the you know, the crumbly bits left over from the pork, I sliced the butternut squash was like this big. I sliced it into like 3 slices, so it still looked like the shape of the butternut squash. I just sliced it, thick slices. I browned them in the flavoring from the pork loin, and then because butternut squash takes forever and a day to cook, I threw it in the microwave for about 5 minutes to soften it up, and then threw it in the oven to finish roasting it. And then of course I made homemade gravy from scratch. And oh, it was so good. Dinner was so good last night. It was delicious, and it was just me and Mr. Cinnamon and Little Man that ate. And Little Man's a picky eater anyway, so he like ate the pork loin. He's all right, I'm done. I was like, can you please just taste the butternut squash? And he's all, I'm not gonna like it. I was like, have you ever had sweet potatoes? He's all, yeah. I was like, because that's something I don't like sweet potatoes. I don't cook sweet potatoes. I never cooked a sweet potato. He's had that at school. And so he's all, yeah. I was like, did you hate it? And he goes, no. I said, this kind of tastes like a sweet potato. Just try it. And he took 2 bites. He's all, okay, I don't like it. Can I be done? I was like, yes, because you tried it. Thank you. Good job. You can be done. But, yeah, dinner was real good last night. So that's my weekend update. That's what I've been up to. This week I do have plans. I already have tomorrow's video up. So the Tuesday video is already up. It's already loaded. We went to Michael's. I found the yarn I've been searching for, which I cannot wait to play with this. And another thing I want to do, my list of things I want to make and do. If you want to learn about this gorgeousness, you gotta watch tomorrow, because I'm not going to tell you anything right now, but it's soft and squishy and it's beautiful. My list of things I want to make is growing and growing, because I have not been able to crochet, and it's been about a month and a half, and I'm just struggling to crochet. And it sucks for me because crochet is my mental outlet. So when things get bad, things get stressful, I'm anxious, I'm ready to pull my hair out or cry or whatever, crochet helps me to recenter and calm down. And I can't do it right now, and it's making me crazy. But also, it's my job, so I'm stressed out even more that I can't do it, because like, what am I gonna do for the channel? I'm gonna lose the channel. The channel's gonna fail and falter, and like, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna lose, like, yeah. Because I'm an overthinker, and I take everything to the extremes, that everything, the sky is falling, Chicken Little. And I know that it's not, but like, I still feel like, oh, the sky's falling. So that's where we're at. This week, like I said, I have the Michael's video. I think I'm going to be able to do the Dollar Tree video that I've been trying to do for the past several weeks, because I have the supplies now, which I didn't update you on that one. Okay, so there was one more location of a Dollar Tree that we did not go to, and Mr. Cinnamon was like, all right, I know you're done, because I was getting real frustrated at this point. He's all, I know you're done. You know you have to go in the store. I'm going to go in. I'll be right back. And when I tell you that this man went into the Dollar Tree hunting for the kits and the yarn that I needed for the video that I told him in minor detail I wanted to make. And he said they were hiding them because somebody put them way up on a shelf behind stuff to hide them. And he is taller than me, so he found them and bought them and brought them out to me, and I was a happy girl. So I patted him on his head and I told him he was a good boy. So yeah, I do have what I need for the Dollar Tree video, and I'm kind of excited to do that. It's not a haul video, it's something I seen on another channel, and I was like, I can do that, but I can do it differently, because the way she did it, I was like, I would have did this different and that different and this different. And so you'll see when I'm able to, I hope I'm able to do it this week. And then the Five Below video is going to be this week as well. I just wanted to show you guys there are some cool things at Five Below, and Five Below is starting to pick up the craft game a little bit, which I am happy about because Dollar Tree is dropping the ball real hard. And also, ideally, I gotta stop biting my lips. I got little skin pieces hanging off because I keep biting on them. That's also a nervous tick. I bite my thumbs too, real bad. What was I gonna say? This week, see, I'm doing it again. You know what? I need a lip mask that will stop me. This stuff is so good. It's from Bath and Body Works. It's caramel apple. Oh, it smells and tastes delicious. It's real good. And that's what Cinema Stitches needs right now. There we go. Highly recommend that. It's not as good. Like, my favorite chapstick is Blistex. I don't mind chapstick, but like Blistex. I grew up on Blistex. My dad, he had a lot of the skin problems I have, and so he always had the green. Let's see if I have any here. No, either the green or the red Blistex. So I guarantee if there is a drawer in this house that belongs to me, it has Blistex in it. I don't know why. I just like the Blistex. I like the little bit of mentholatedness that goes into your face and your lips. I usually put it on before bed. What was I saying? Oh, so this week, provided everything works out for me and homeschooling goes smoothly and there are no more giant wrenches thrown at my head, I really, really want to work on the Sirdar blanket. First thing, that's first priority, Sirdar blanket. And I should probably write this down because, oh, I banged you. G2 pins, those are my favorite. G2. Come on. G2. Alright, so it's the Sirdar blanket. I want to do the witch. I want to redo her. I will check in with you if I do in fact redo her. I might try to do it today. I already have the Wooble black yarn down, which I dropped on the floor and has all of Bentley's dog hair on it. I just need to find, hopefully I have it. I don't know if I have any more of the green glow in the dark. I might have to take her apart if I don't, because I really like the idea of her face being green. Because when I was a little girl, I was a witch for like 4 Halloweens in a row, and then the year little man was conceived, it was, so in September I had the massive failure on my the tumors that were attached to my ovaries, and I've told this story a bunch on the channel. Both of my ovaries were just covered in giant, I mean giant tumors, and one of my ovaries actually flipped and cut off the circulation of my tube, and the ovary died inside of me. It was very, very painful. So I had to have surgery to remove the tumors and my ovary. 6 weeks later, it was Halloween. And I was cleared. We were cleared, I will say. And I dressed up as a witch for Halloween. And 2 days later, I couldn't get the green paint off of my face still. And we got pregnant. And I have always said that that's why Little Man is crazy, because he was born from a wicked witch. Ironically, I'm wearing my shirt that says they didn't burn witches, they burned women. Story time with Cinnamon. Alright, so you know, my hair looks so shiny. It looks greasy, but it's not greasy. It's just there's conditioner in it, and I don't generally use conditioner, so it's like kind of like making it extra shiny, which is driving me crazy. That's why my hair is so shiny. Conditioner. I don't generally use conditioner. I don't need it. My hair is naturally soft. But like today, it's like super shiny. And I also just woke up, so, and I ain't here. Just stop distracting myself. There. Oh, no. Okay, so I want to work on the witch this weekend. Or this week. Serdar Blanket, the witch. I want to do some more of the Wooble kits. Maybe. By the way, so my niece is now addicted to the Woobles. Okay? She bought some of the Hobby Lobby Wooble, fake Wooble kits. And then she was at, I think Walmart has Wooble kits now. They have the purple bat, candy corn, a ghost. I got a screenshot on my phone. Hang on. She called me and she's all, Aunt Jenny. I was like, yes. She's all, if you had a choice for the Woobles. Oh, there's an owl. All right, so here. So that's the candy corn. That's the ghost. The owl, Frankenstein I already have. And then the bat. And she's all, which one would you pick? And I was like, why? What are you doing? She's all, they have Wooble kits here. I was like, okay. I already knew this because that picture is not actually from her. It's from someone else. I stole it off of a group on Facebook. Not even my own group. And she's all, which one would you want to do? Because what I want to do is she wanted to buy the kit for herself and then load the pattern into my account because I gave her access to my account so she can access any of the Woobles that's on there so she can practice. And so she is letting me see the candy corn kit. So I already know how to make the candy corn. But I'm not gonna tell her that because that was really sweet of her, and I'm just gonna let her be sweet to me, okay? So she's all, which one do you want? The bat, this, that. I was like, I don't know, like whatever one you want. It doesn't matter to me. I was like, I already have Frankenstein, so Frankenstein's already loaded into the my account. And she's all, well, I kind of really like the candy corn. I was like, so get yourself the candy corn. And she's like, but I also, well, she likes the bat. So she went to Michael's and I actually gave her my rewards that I earned from Michael's so that she could get herself some more tube style yarn so she can make more stuff. And I also told her that I designed a ghost and a pumpkin and I wrote down the pumpkin for her. So if she needs to see that, she can. Because she likes the tutorials. She learns from that, which a lot of us do. But she also can follow the pattern because I taught her well. Alright. What else do I want to work on today? Or this week? The Karma Cowl thing. I think we're gonna... I'm gonna write down Karma Cowl. But I think we're gonna do it more like a... Oh my god, I lost the word again. When I mentioned this last week, everybody was like, it's this, I think it's called this. It's basically a hooded cowl, or yeah, a hooded cowl, but it's more of like just a big, giant, oversized, wide cowl that you just wrap up around your head. And the Wednesday Addams roommate made them both one in the new show Wednesday. And I cannot for the life of me remember what it's called. Let me Google this and see if I can figure it out. Because I feel so stupid. My brain is not on. What is a crochet hooded cowl called? Snood. It says, or a crow hoodie. It's a snood. I don't know why. It also says... Other specific names for accessories are used are L capuchin or a tootie, which is a hybrid of a turtleneck and a hood. Tootie. T-O-O-D-I-E. So it says a snood. While traditionally a snood is a deep tubular scarf, it can also be made deep enough to be worn as a hood, making it a suitable name for a hooded cowl. I think that's what we're going to do is we're going to swerve and we're going to make a hooded, a snood. I think that's what we're going to do. I'm not positive on that. I'm going to have to rework everything. I think this is going to entirely be frogs though. Snood. And I'm writing it down because I'm going to forget in 3 seconds. Which is crazy because my long-term memory is like fantastic. I can remember in great detail things that happened 30 years ago. You ask me what the name of something is, my brain's like, I don't know. Oh no. I don't know, George. Isn't that pretty? All of this was stuffed in this little tiny bag. I tried to use it and it exploded on me. Yeah, and it ain't going back in. So, what are you guys working on this week? What are you working on? Inspire me. Because I'm really struggling mentally with the fact that I'm having a hard time crocheting because my hand is twitching so bad. And I'm struggling mentally because it's not the stress so much that is causing my mental health to decline. It's like a whole bunch of other stuff. We contacted a seller's agency to get some estimates on what they think the house is going to go for. We are definitely moving forward finally. I'm going to be real honest. I can't wait to get out of Dodge. I cannot wait to get out of Dodge. I can't wait to leave the city and just go somewhere else. I need it so bad. I think we all do. And just with this summer alone, I am so ready to move on to the next step in my life. It's crazy because though things have been difficult and hard, I am handling things that would have broke me before. And I know that I'm being very vague, but like there are some things I just don't want to talk about, but I want you to know that I am so proud of myself because this would have broke me before. The stuff that I'm going through in my personal life would have absolutely broke me before. And I have bad days, but I am learning so much about myself because I'm not laying down to rest or to, not even rest. I'm not laying down to die. Like, it's that simple. I'm not. I am fighting through every bit of what I'm going through. And I am doing everything in my power to just be better, do better, be happier, be calm and safe. And I was riding in the car with my husband the other day, and I said, I'm surprised in that moment. I'm surprised I'm as calm as I am because I have suffered with anxiety my entire life. I had a very traumatic event happen when I was 1.5 years old that I have memories of. And it affected my entire life. Not to include all the other traumas that have happened over my life, but that one formed anxiety. And if you ever seen Inside Out 2, the cartoon, the movie from Disney, oh, that is my anxiety. Like, she's loud and she's in there screaming at me sometimes. And I have struggled with anxiety my entire life. I mean, my entire life. I remember getting picked up in kindergarten, and it was another traumatic event that I remember in great detail. I come from a very bad family. My mother's side of the family is a lot of really evil people in there, and the second traumatic event was like involved one of my uncles. And she picked me up from school so that we could go make a police report, and then my dad attempted to like go down and take care of the situation himself because the cops didn't. So like, it was very, like, when you're 5 years old, it's severely traumatic to know that your mom was attacked and that, you know, the police stopped my dad to stop him from going and doing something that probably would have got him in jail. Okay, he had a baseball bat. So I say traumatic, it was traumatic. That really, really just kind of blew up the anxiety inside of me, was that second event. And it just, everything, and I've been fighting it my whole life. And when I was in the car with Mr. Cinnamon, and I was like, I'm surprised I'm as calm as I am right now, because I feel like I woke up one day in hell. Like, it was that bad. Just like, it was a sudden shift in everything. And I felt so calm, it scared me. And he looked at me, he goes, you know, that's what serial killers say before they kill somebody. I said, I'm not going to kill you, don't worry. But I'm proud of myself. And that's why I'm discussing. Because while I'm not telling the details of things that are going on, like, I'm telling you, I'm so proud of myself for handling everything the way I am and doing as well as I am under the circumstances. Because there's a part of me that wants to curl up in a ball. And there's a part of me that wants to go dig a hole and bury myself. And there's this way louder part of Jen that is just my entire spirit. That is, your daddy didn't raise a quitter. And you're going to fight to the end. And you're going to heal yourself. And you're going to fix everything. And you're going to do this. You're going to do it for yourself and nobody else. And that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. I have a fighting spirit and I am fighting. And I'm going to talk about God right now. And if you don't believe in God, I'm not trying to at all push my beliefs on you. And I'm not trying to convince anybody of anything. And I'm not saying that I am right in what I'm feeling or thinking. I am saying this was my experience. And I'm sharing it because this is my personal experience right now in my life. I have struggled with my belief for a long time. I know my personal knowledge is that God is real. I believe in Jesus Christ. But for a long time I questioned that. Not that he was real, but that he cared or was listening to me at all. Because it felt like for a long time, especially when little man was a baby, oh, I struggled the worst then because we weren't sleeping for 5 years. I didn't know how to parent him. Everything I did was wrong. It didn't work. And recent events, really, I was like, I called out for help. And I felt like it wasn't coming. And I came to a realization because I told you guys I got really sick last week. And I was laying on the bathroom floor talking to Grandma. Grandma's not my birth grandma. She's Mr. Cinnamon's grandma. But I talk to her more than anybody in my family. Like, I emailed her all the time. And she emailed me back. And when I was in her presence, she would tell me stories that I swear she had a story for every situation. Like, no matter what I was going through, she had a story for it. Because she had been through so much in her life. And, oh, we have similar spirits in the fact that she was a fiery redhead. I'm a fiery Leo. Whatever that means. We both are stubborn and we both are, you're not going to kick us down. Like, you're not going to knock us down. You're like, we're fighters. And unapologetically herself. And I learned so much about life and being a woman from her. Because she was the kind of woman I wanted to be. My mom was very dainty, feminine, makeup, hair spray, fancy bras, like the whole thing. And that's never been me. Both my sisters growing up were very feminine, I wanted to play in the dirt with my best friend who was a boy. I wanted a dirt bike. I wanted to ride bikes and get scabs on my knees. And I still played with Barbies and Cabbage Patch dolls, but like, I did not feel all girly like my mom and my sisters were at all. I felt like the odd duck out, like, really. And Grandma was the same way. Her stepmother tried to make her into the perfect little girl that doesn't talk out, doesn't speak out, puts pin curls in her naturally curly hair, and like, Grandma hated all that. And so Grandma would tell me these stories, and I'm like, I just admire this woman so much. I love her. Like, I want to be her when I grow up. And I think Grandma saw a lot of me in her too. She saw a lot of she saw a lot of her and Grandpa and me and Mr. Cinnamon. And I told her one time, I was like, we did everything in the wrong order. Like, our marriage should not have worked out the way it's worked out. And like, we've made a lot of screw-ups, mistakes. We did everything in the wrong order. And Grandma said the same thing about her and Grandpa. Was like, they didn't do anything right. They got married really young. They had 5 babies in 5 years while he was in the Navy being deployed. And like, he would come home and he wouldn't even know which child was his because he was gone, you know, and he'd come back and there'd be another kid. So she said, she told me some of the struggles that they had. And she told me about the struggle she had as a parent and the struggle she had as being a military wife. And I just learned so much about being a woman from her that I never got from my mom. And so when I was laying on the bathroom floor and I was talking to her, I was out loud talking to her, laying on the bathroom floor sick as a dog. And I was in there for about 2 hours. I was just talking to her. If you don't know, Grandma died about a year ago. It was a year ago in, I think, May. She lived in California. We live in Virginia. We saw her every couple years. We drove across country and back. And we always spent all of our time in California with her. With her and Grandpa. She's the only grandparents my kids know. Her and Grandpa were it. My parents are both dead. Mr. Cinnamon's parents are not at all involved in it. They don't know my children's middle names or birthdays. They're just not involved. And I wouldn't want them to be anyway, to be truthful. But they were it. And so I was sitting on the front porch and I was talking to Mr. Cinnamon, and a hummingbird dive bombed his head. And I always relate the hummingbirds to Grandma and Grandpa. I always have. They had tons of hummingbirds in their yard constantly. And when Grandpa passed away and we were in California for the funeral, there was an emerald king hummingbird sitting on a bush at the place me and Mr. Cinnamon got married at. And I knew in that moment it was Grandpa. Like, Grandpa was sending me a sign. He was sending us a sign like, hey, I'm still here. And Grandpa actually came to me in a dream not long after that. And like, I don't even remember what his message was, but he sent me a message. And I don't even remember what it was, but I remember him coming to me. And I thought it was so odd because very few people have came to me in my dreams after they've passed away. My mom and dad have, and Grandpa. And so it just was weird, you know. So when I saw, and he didn't even see the hummingbird, and it like went at his head and up in the other direction. He didn't even know it went by. And I looked at him, I said, that was really weird timing, because it was, I had spent the whole morning in the bathroom on the floor. It was a really bad day. And I'm sitting there, I was like, that was really odd timing for her to come by, like the hummingbird to come by. And I said, that had to have been Grandma sending me a signal. Like, it had to have been, you know. And anyway, this is the long version of me saying that because I was struggling so hard in my faith, and because of the hummingbird and me, after me talking to Grandma, I realized I was not, in fact, alone anymore. I thought I was. I thought I was being ignored by God. I thought, and like I said, I'm not trying to make you feel or believe anything. And if you don't want to listen to this part, you don't have to. You think I'm crazy. I don't care. That's cool. I have listened to other people testify their stories, and I thought they were crazy. It's natural. If you haven't experienced it, it's normal to think other people are crazy because you don't know. Why do you believe that's true? It's fine. So anyway, I was sitting there and like it hit me. It's like I was so mad. I was hurting because I'm like, God doesn't give a crap about me. Like, he's not answering my prayer. He's not helping me. Like, I need help so bad right now. And I realized So like I said, I feel like I woke up one day in hell, like literal hell. Like I felt like I woke up in hell. He was walking me through the fire. So, we're going to end on a positive note. Whatever you believe, if you just believe in the power of the energy of the earth, I believe that too. I'm going to be real honest with you. There is energy in the earth. I can feel it. There is energy. Like I went to Sequoia National Park. And if you don't know what that is, it's in California. And it is the Sequoia and Yellowstone are two places that you can feel something. Some sort of powerful energy that is coming from the earth. And the first time I saw a sequoia, now sequoias are, I think they're the largest by volume trees on planet Earth. They are the big giant trees you've seen them driving a car through. That's sequoia. They also have the redwoods, which are the tallest, which are all in the same region. So the first time, I've always felt connected to trees, always. I don't know why. It's just when I was a little girl, we had two, and the trees are still there in the front yard of the house that I grew up in. The house is not there, but the trees are. There's a fat tree and a skinny tree in our front yard, and they were big giant trees. And I don't know what kind of trees they are. They're both still there though. I used to go and just put my arms on the tree, and I would walk around the circle, and I would play with the trees, and I would stand at the base of the tree, and I would look up at watching the leaves sparkle with the sunshine coming through. And those trees always were like my friend in the front yard, which is, I don't know, I was a weird kid, okay? But I always felt connected to trees. And when we went to Sequoia National Park, I saw the very first sequoia tree, and I was just, my breath was taken. While I'm talking, I'm going to look and see if I can find a picture of us at Sequoia so I can show you how massive these trees are. And I went up to the tree because something in me is like, I need to touch the tree. I need to feel it. And I went up and I put my hands on the tree, and I cried. Like, it was so moving and powerful to me. So that's why I say is like, there's energy. I mean, it's proven that there's energy in all living things, but I also believe that energy is transferable from one person to the next. You could send energy to people. When people say they're praying for you, or they're sending you their light, or they're lighting a candle for you, I absolutely can feel that. And I know a lot of you feel the same way. So what I'm saying is, like, no matter what you believe in, I think there's truth in all of it. I really do. I really think there's truth in all of it. And I found it. That's at the base of the tree. But that doesn't give you an idea of how big the trees are. Oh. So these are right here are probably 150 feet tall pines. And that's a sequoia. These are regular old giant pine trees that you see wherever. And they are absolutely magical. That's just the base. And to give you an idea, this is me standing inside of a fallen sequoia tree. So the tree was hollowed out from nature, whatever. It fell over, and this is the root system that is up in the air. That's how big the base is, just to give you an idea of how massive the sequoia trees are. That's me. So, when I say they're massive, and they've been around some of those trees are over 2,000 years old, which is, can you imagine? Can you imagine being a tree and being around for 2,000 years and all of the things that you've seen? Because the Sequoia National Park is up in the side of the mountain, like it's in the mountains. You have to drive up this very scary road to get to the top where the Sequoia National Park is. And can you imagine, just, first of all, you're on a mountain, and it's the Sierra Nevadas, I believe, so they're large mountains. And then you're a giant tree like that. I can't even imagine what they can see from the top. Like, can you imagine just being a tree and being alive and being up there and seeing all that you can see looking down at the world? It's crazy. So, like I said, I believe the energy is real and transferable, and my battery's going to die. I do want to leave this on a happy note, positive note. So like I said, whatever you believe in, I know sometimes it's hard. Life can get to us, and it's hard to keep on believing that there's positive and good things out there, and it's hard to believe in good people, and it's hard to believe when you're in hell. It's hard to believe that you're never get out, or that it's going to be okay one day. And I just want to tell you, if you're going through anything right now, it's going to be okay, and you're going to be okay, and everything is going to turn out. It might not turn out the way you thought it was going to, and it might not turn out the way you planned it to turn out. But it's going to turn out, and it's going to be okay, and you're going to be all right. And you're going to adjust, and life is going to move on. And life is a big roller coaster, you know. There's ups and there's downs, but the good thing about the ups, well, the bad thing about the ups is there's always downs. But if you look at it, the good thing about the downs is there's always an up. It always comes back again. It always comes out. The storm doesn't last forever. There's always sunshine on the other side of the clouds. And in the past couple weeks, I've seen several rainbows. I've seen, and what's funny is I saw the rainbow, and then the next day, like, oh, it got bad, like real bad, like catastrophic. And then I saw the next rainbow, and I was like, tomorrow better not blow up in my face again, because I can't deal with this. And then I stopped looking for rainbows, because like, I don't want to know. I don't want to know what's coming. Like, if a train is coming at me, let it hit me. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. So, with that, thank you for joining me on this late Monday video. I don't know how long it's going to take me to edit and upload it, because it's already 8:07 when I'm stopping this video. I'm going to go get this started transferring over, and then I'm going to do a little bit of lesson planning for today. Today is a Spanish and U.S. Geography day in school, which my two favorite subjects to teach him. We're having fun with it. And then I had a really big idea at the end of this school year, because we're doing U.S. Geography, and we're learning about maps, and we're learning about topography, and we're learning about the lay of the land and the different features of the United States. And we're learning a lot about just really interesting facts about different states. The last time we as a family crossed the country, little man was very small, and he doesn't remember a lot of it. And so I told Mr. Cinnamon, I was like, I want to take him, and I want to go cross country. I want to show him all the things he doesn't remember. I want him to have the same memory that the girls have. I want him to pick out things he wants to see. I want to take him to Pops on Route 66 in Oklahoma and let him get soda. Because it's a cool store, and if you are anywhere near Oklahoma, go to see Pops on 66, okay? It's a cool store. I want to take him to Sequoia, honestly. I don't know if we're going to do the whole country the way we did the last trip, but like, there are some key things I want to show him and have him experience. I want to take him back to the Grand Canyon, because even though it terrified me, the last time we went, he was uncontrolled ADHD, and I had nightmares for a week afterward, because I was so scared that he was going to run off the cliff. Because there's a lot of places along the Grand Canyon that don't have fences or guardrails. And that's terrifying when you have a little boy who likes to bolt away from you. And he was like, I think 2 or 3. Terrifying. So I would like to take him back because now I know he's not going to run off the cliff. He's going to hold on to me because I'm scared of heights. And the reason I know that is because last summer we went to Natural Bridge. Is it the Natural Bridge? Natural Tunnel Park? I think it's a Natural Tunnel Park in Virginia, almost to Tennessee, Kentucky. I think it's Tennessee. I think we had to go into Tennessee and back out of Tennessee to get to the park. And we went up the overlook to look down, and I'm really scared of heights. I won't even stand on a chair. That's how afraid of heights I am. I'm like, nope, I'm gonna fall. I'm gonna get hurt. I don't want to get hurt. I don't want to fall. And so when I went to the Grand Canyon, I was like, my whole body was just shaking from fear. I was terrified. But once again, this goes back to my husband being the supportive person that he is. He knows that I have a severe love and passion for photography. I used to be a photographer. And he got me up at dawn to go to the Grand Canyon rim and take photos of the sun rising over the Grand Canyon. And it was absolutely breathtaking. It was absolutely breathtaking. And there's just something so magical about sunset and sunrise, especially in a natural place like that. And so I have those pictures for the rest of my life, you know, and I have that experience for the rest of my life. I want to share some of those with him. I want little man to have some of those memories. And granted, some of the things he's going to want to see that I'm not going to care about is going to probably be technological buildings or something. He's probably going to want to go see, I don't know, something technological. I promise you, something. I don't know what yet, but I know he's going to research it. Which is fine by me. I want it to be memorable for him. I want him to see cool, fun stuff. Maybe we'll go see my giant ball of yarn and knitting needles, or, you know, something like that. And of course, if we do make that trip, like I'm planning on, I'm going to bring you guys along, and I will film it, and I will show you some of my experiences. It's still going to be limited to just me in the video because I need to protect him, but, you know, I think it'll be a cool, fun thing for us to do. It's something for me to look forward to in the summertime. So with that, I'm going to let you guys go. I will see you tomorrow with the Michaels video. And then after I'm done with the homeschooling today, I'm going to try to do the rest of my videos so that I can get those done, because Monday is my film day. I film on Mondays, and then throughout the week I usually edit and upload when I have time. And with that, I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you for hanging out with me and listening to me ramble about everything and nothing all at once. And I really do appreciate spending this time with you. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.